All right, so I have a pretty interesting story. It's about this boy, who is supposed to have graduated high school, but you find out he got bumped all the way back to like the 9th grade, and it has gone completely unnoticed for years. Okay, we have a story about it. It's a video element, and let's get into it. All right, so first off, I'm going to read this little part that's right here. A shocking discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where Project Baltimore has found hundreds of students are failing. It's a school where a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years, right here, who passed 3 classes in 4 years, ranks near the top half of his class with a .13 grade point average. Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma this coming June, but after 4 years of high school, France just learned her 17-year-old must start over. He's been moved back to the 9th grade. He's stressed, and this is what she said. He's stressed, and I am too. I told him I'm probably going to start crying. I don't know what to do for him, France told Project Baltimore. Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. That's their problem. That's the problem here. They failed. He didn't deserve that. Okay. Now let's look at it.
Alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
We found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma. But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him.
She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times. But in those 3 years, only one teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
That is crazy. Okay, so from 9th grade to 12th grade, he's going to be pushed all the way back to 9th grade because he failed almost all of his classes. I think they said he only passed 3, but they kept, okay, you got an F in Spanish 1. Okay, next year we'll just push you to Spanish 2. So I don't know why they're just promoting these kids instead of actually finding the root cause and holding them back. That's what I don't get. I really don't understand that. Why would you not do that? So there's really 2 big things here. The school failed the children and the parents failed the children. Okay, so where I get that from is school. Okay, so you have the school that is constantly promoting you to the next thing. Okay, you have one teacher that said, hey, little Tyrone, he's failing his classes. Can I talk to the mom or something, or somebody, parent, guardian, someone, because this ain't right. And it never happened. Now, my thing also was this. I don't remember if they do report cards in high school. I don't remember, but maybe they do. I don't remember, y'all. Okay. But my thing is this. Now, how do you not know their grades? Now, I know they do something different now because this is not what they did when I was in school. Like my brother, for example, they have like an online portal where the parents can actually see like, okay, my kid has an A right now in the class, so they can actually see the grades and all that. I'm not sure if it's for every assignment, but I know that they can see like what the current overall grade is that the child has received. So with that being said, we getting back to you, mama. Why did you not look? Did you just be like, okay, well, the school supposed to teach him and blah, 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 blah. And then she said, well, they failed him. He's got to go back 3 grades. And okay, let's say it did happen in 9th grade. Why were you not saying something? And this is just overall on both parts, but even if it happened in 9th grade, you did not one time actually ask like, okay, let me go and see. Can I go and see your, you just took a test, baby. Can I go and see that test? Let me go and see what it looks like. You never once asked about any of that. I find that to be hard to believe. And with that's a failure on your part. I'm sorry, but it is. Yeah, I'm going to blame the school, but it's also a failure on your part because you are a parent. You are supposed to be making sure that this stuff is where it's supposed to be at the end of the day. So if they did have the online portal, were you not looking at it? I didn't have that when I was growing up, but they got that kind of stuff now in certain schools, I believe. At least I know from personal experience, my brother does. Okay. So it's like, where you're not looking at that kind of stuff, also the fact that they're just promoting. They're like, I got an F. All right, fine. Go. And also my other thing is this. They said he was absent 272 times out of the year, absent or late, which I need to know which one was absent and which one was late. Okay. Where was he? Are you not dropping him off at school? Now, I was born in the suburbs, y'all. Okay. Middle class. So my thing is this. For me, I had to walk to school. So if I got up late, I had to do a little extra speed walking. Okay. It was walking to school, and sometimes I'll get a ride to school. Okay. When I was coming back home, it was half and half depending. Like if I had like marching band after school, I'm getting a ride. But if I didn't have marching band, most of the time I was walking home anyways. So were you dropping your kid off? Wherever the school is located, was there a city bus that your kid was supposed to be taking? Were you making sure that your kid was up? Was your kid getting up in the morning? What? I guess I'm confused how he had that many absences / just being late. And then what did they do? Because for me, they said, well, Alex, you can only have, I think it was like 3 absences. No, it was 3. It was 3 tardies. Even if you were only like a minute late, they will put you in, they'll give you is it a SIS? They'll give you something. It was like this little slip where essentially they say, okay, this is your first time being late, whatever. This is your second time being late. Okay, third time being late. Now you're going to get it in school suspension. I never got the in school suspension. Okay. I was always like the second. Okay. And that was not my doing. Okay. That was because some people dropped me off late. Okay. But still, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that, where I'm like, okay. Because I remember I would be late. Yeah, I remember I would be late because it would be like either my mom had to take me or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I did wake up a little late and I had to. But a lot of the times it was someone taking me, and they were, I'll be ready in 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, we're running late. All right. I used to love watching the Shirley Morning Show with Steve Harvey asking Shirley Strawberry and those questions. I used to love watching that. But anyways, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, well, there was no kind of ISS, nothing. There was no like, okay, we got to bring your parents in to go and talk about this. Nothing. So I'm giving both parties equal blame. Because the mother should have been making sure that her kid was there. Should have been making sure that homework was being done. And then they're going to go and show in that video how, he's playing video games right here. He's looking at the screen, play video. You're a dummy. What the heck are you doing on the PlayStation? Why are you playing video games? I believe you get work first, get your work done first, and then you can party later. That's the difference between, okay, it's 5 of us for siblings. That's the difference between my sisters and my brothers. Okay. My brothers was always, let's go and play the game and then let's do some homework after. But we're going to play the game first. Okay. So we're going to do about 80% game and 20% homework. And, and then you start getting C's, D's, and F's and stuff. So that's not good. Meanwhile, the girls, we were always, let's get the homework done and then we could go and do what we want to do. Okay. We do it in the beginning. Boom, 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 boom. Everything's good. Bow. And then we go ahead and play our game, go watch TV, whatever. And that's the difference between your D's and F's and C's, maybe a hit of B's, to what we were having, which were A's and B's. Maybe you got a C here and there, depending on how difficult the subject was for you. Okay. Question. Were there any after school programs for me? Okay. Only in high school. Everything else was a breeze. But in high school, when you start getting to the geometries, the trigonometries and the physics, and I'm like, certain teachers, they say, yo, you can stay after class and no, I'll be here for extra 45 minutes to an hour. You could stay after class or whatnot. And then I could go and help you with whatever problem you had. Want to know what I did? I stayed after class for trigonometry with Miss Klein. I loved her. With Spanish, I had this teacher named Miss Salcedo. And then physics, and I can't remember his name. But I stayed after. If I had an issue with something, that's what I ended up doing. So were there programs? Or, I mean, they weren't even really programs. It was just teachers, extra time. And they were like, I'm going to be here anyway. So, So was there something like that? I mean, it just didn't seem like this school really gave any F's. You know what I mean? And then the parents obviously don't care. How do you have a 0.13 GPA? That's just you not trying. You just, whatever. Okay, you could be too cool for school. And you do realize what these governments do. Oh, we got all these dummies over here. Nice. We're going to fill up our prison system nicely. Because there is a correlation between having low grades, not being as studied as someone. I'm not saying like you go to college, okay, you're not going to have any criminal activity. I'm not saying that because just because you go to college doesn't make you smart. Okay, that's just is what it is. That doesn't make you smart. There's, in all realness, you don't have to really go to college, not unless you're doing some STEM. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to go and get, like my degree, for example, can't find a job in it at all. Okay. So if you're going to get something like what I got, for example, you could have just saved all that money, went on YouTube, went on Google, found all the information out, and you could have learned all that kind of stuff in about a year and a half, in all realness. And you didn't have a degree, but you'll learn the same stuff. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's just what you actually know. Is whether you are a learned person. It doesn't necessarily mean the institution that you go to. But like I said, high school is a bare minimum, yo. That's bare minimum. Y'all need to just get your degree, get your if you're getting your GED or your high school diploma. That should be a bare minimum. Get that stuff done, get it out the way, and then go and pursue whatever you want to do. If college is the path for you, cool. If that's what you want to do, cool. If you're like, I don't really want to do college, maybe trade school. They be making 6 figures over there. Okay. And if you're like, I don't really want to do that, I kind of want to, try to do my own thing, whatever. We find a job until you make enough money so you can do your own thing, honey. Okay. But at the end of the day, I go and look at all this stuff and I'm like, this is just a failure on both parts, both your school system, but also just parenting. At the end of the day, these schools, they don't care, y'all. They don't care. Well, obviously this one doesn't. Mine was on my, okay. But obviously this one doesn't. The government does not care about whether or not you smart. They don't care. Because if they did, college would be free here. Or your tax dollars would be paying for it so it can be free. Okay. But that just isn't happening. So, I go and look at all this kind of stuff and I'm like, okay, y'all over here, you're not parenting. You are a parent, but you're not parenting. And that's the issue that we have today. But let me know what you think about this story down below.